much for joining us today for Self-Confidence Week, Part 2. This one is called Believe in Yourself. And what better book to read than Barnabee Believes in Himself. We are going to learn how to believe in ourselves today. We are going to shrink all the way down to the size of a bee. Yes, you heard me right. We're going to be bzzz. So, go ahead and put on your pretend antenna. That's what I have right here. The two little pointy things you see at the top of most insects' heads. And get on your fake bee wings. Bzz, bzz. Pretend bee wings. Do they work? Try to flap them. Bzz. Oh, I'm gonna fly away! Don't fly away, don't fly away. You have to read the book first. This book is a new favorite of mine for learning how to handle your emotions, stand up for a friend, and most of all, believe in yourself. Please don't forget, my friends, like and subscribe to this page if you're enjoying these videos. I would really greatly appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. Let's read this book. It's one of my new favorites. If you have this book at home, now is a perfect time to go ahead and grab it so you can read along with me. Barnabee Believes in Himself, written and illustrated by the very talented Cazzy Zahursky. Barnabee B loved to spell. He secretly spelled every new word he learned. Words he heard at the playground, words he heard on TV, words he heard at school, even words he heard while fast asleep and dreaming. To Barnabee, spelling was easy peasy bumblebeesy. He dreamed of being a spelling bee champ. Look at the chalkboard right behind him in class. It says math done, art done, spelling, it has a circle around it. That means Barnabee really likes to spell. One morning, Barnabee's teacher announced, "Barnabee, you qualified for the spelling bee finals." Barnabee's face lit up like a lightning bug's behind. He couldn't be more excited. Oh my goodness, look at that illustration. And what is that sign that the lightning bug is holding? It says, "Stop looking at my behind!" Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to stare at your behind. Sorry, friend. Let's move on to the next page.
Buster B, you will also be in this year's Spelling Bee Finals. We will be practicing for the next 3 days. I believe each of you has what it takes to win this.
Aw, that is so nice that the teacher believes in them. On the first day of practice, Barnabee and Buster sat at the front of the classroom. Their teacher said, "Barnabee, please spell the word sea, as in deep blue sea." Suddenly, Barnabee felt as if a drum was pounding inside his chest and his hands felt clammy. Suddenly, a wave of fear passed over him and he froze. See! 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 Barnabee was unable to move or speak. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw Buster laughing at him. That's not nice. Suddenly, Barnabee's face went from warm to hot to feverish as giant beads of sweat swarmed down his neck. Before he knew it, it was as if he were struggling to swim in a deep blue sea of sweat. He couldn't spell. That evening, Barnabee practiced spelling words in front of a mirror. He practiced the word sea.
Easy peasy bumblebeesy. I just need to remember to stay calm and believe in myself.
The next morning, Barnabee played a sing song and got ready for school.
Today's the day. I'm going to speak up and I can prove I can spell. I will be brave and believe believe in myself. Nothing can stop me now. He gobbled down a big bowl of honey nut pollen puffs, brushed his hair with a honeycomb, and headed for the school bus. That bus would be so amazing to be inside of. Look how Buster's even putting his hand out the window and feeling the grass. That's not something we should do in our mommies and daddies' cars, though. Spelling time! Buster whispered to Barnabee. Spelling bee champs don't get scared. Barnabee tried to speak, but it felt as if his mouth was oozing honey, gluing it shut, and his eyes felt as if rain clouds were about to burst. Barnabee, please spell the word beak, as in the bird has a long beak. Suddenly, it was as if his classmates were growing long beaks, transforming into big, ferocious, beady-eyed, hungry birds. Suddenly, Buster was a bird, as soaring across the classroom with his beak wide open, aiming straight for Barnabee. Without making a peep, Barnabee quickly flew out of the classroom. He missed practice altogether. Barnabee heard Buster's voice trailing behind him, saying, "Ha ha, what a crybaby! Cry baby, cry baby!" Oh man. That night, Barnabee tried relaxing to calming music by Beethoven. He spelled the word beak, easy peasy bumblebeesy, and told himself, "Tomorrow's the day I'll speak up. I just have to relax and believe in myself." When practice began, he decided to imagine his swarm mates sitting in their underwear. It actually helped. He giggled at the thought of Buster wearing ladybug underwear. He was feeling really good and thought, this is going to be easy peasy bumblebeesy. Until the teacher said, "Barnabee, can you please spell the word fear?" Fear? A lump formed in his throat. Suddenly, it was as if he was the one in his underwear, in front of the class, unable to speak while his swarm mates roared with laughter. Barnabee made a beeline out of the classroom in tears. Buster raised his hand, saying, "Fear is so easy to spell. It's F-E-A-R." That wasn't very nice. That evening, Barnabee could not stop thinking about practice. He remembered the word fear and spelled it easy peasy bumblebeesy, but thought about how he was tired of feeling fear. His mother came into the room and said, "There's my busy bee. Is something bugging you, honey?" Mothers always know. "I'm just a little scared about tomorrow." Everyone gets a little scared. You have to be scared before you can be brave. Being brave means you just keep doing something, even when you're scared. Dad and I love you no matter what happens tomorrow. Just breathe and remember to believe in yourself like we do. You are our brave little bee. Thanks, Mom. I love you. I love you too, honey. Barnabee thought to himself, "Believe. How do I believe?" On the big day, Barnabee cautiously walked into the auditorium. Suddenly, it felt as if butterflies were doing kung fu flips inside his stomach. Sweat beads began to swell on Barnabee's forehead. Fear was just a heartbeat away when Barnabee turned the corner and spotted Buster on the verge of tears. Buster was talking to his big brother. Barnabee hid and heard Buster's brother calling him, "Spelling bee champs don't get scared. Don't be such a crybaby." Suddenly, a wave of strength passed over Barnabee. He took a deep breath, flew up to Buster's brother, saying, "Those words sting." And then he turned to Buster and offered him his hand. "You can do this. Just believe in yourself." Suddenly, Barnabee felt calm. Suddenly, Barnabee felt relaxed. Suddenly, Barnabee felt brave.
After all the little bee contestants took their places on stage, the announcer called Barnabee to the microphone first. Barnabee took his place at the microphone. Suddenly, the room began to spin. Barnabee looked at Buster, who was giving him a reassuring thumbs up and a warm smile. "Your word is believe." Barnabee took a deep breath and spoke.
Believe is spelled
B-E-L-I-E-V-E.
Barnabee's a spelling rock star. He's the bee's knees, and I believe.
By believing in himself, Barnabee won the spelling bee and gained a new friend. The end. And then we have this beautiful page about the author and illustrator. Cazzy Zahursky is a wife and mother of 2 girls and a dog and a grandmother to a lizard. She enjoys spending time with her family, traveling, volunteering at her children's schools, and working out. She stays busy and inspired by her girls on a daily basis. She loves teaching them lessons through storytelling. Whether she's playing around with her girls or practicing yoga with her husband, she enjoys every memorable moment. Wow, Cazzy, thank you so much for writing this beautiful, touching book. It really does complete our self-confidence week. Last week we learned about how saying I can help trick your mind into knowing that you can really do it. This week we're learning about how to believe in ourselves, and believe we did. What time is it now? Who can tell me? You're right! Thinking cap time! Grab your thinking caps, everyone, and go ahead, put it on your head, and we're gonna start thinking. Do you still have your wings on your back? Bzzz. Don't fly away just yet. So friends, something really special about this book is the person who wrote it, Cazzy. She also did all of these beautiful pictures in the book as well. And I wanted to ask, is there a favorite page that any of you had while we were reading? Wow! My favorite page was when the school bus was going through the grassy field. All those colors of the grass are just so amazing, and it makes me wonder, is it summertime or springtime? The sky is blue, the grass is green, and Buster has his hand out of the window touching the grass, and it just looks like such a peaceful, beautiful ride. Did anyone notice how at the beginning of the book, Buster was kind of bullying Barnabee, but then at the end, they became friends? That was because Barnabee stood up for Buster when Buster's brother was making fun of him for being nervous about the spelling bee. It's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. And I really, really like how Barnabee stirred up the courage within himself to go over to Buster's brother and tell him, those words sting. It's a very scary thing to do, to stand up for someone else or stand up for yourself. But I promise, whenever you do it, you will always feel so much better at the end. And it's something that not everyone has the courage to do. So I encourage you to stand up for what's right. All right, my friends. We'll take off our thinking caps now. Is it time to go? No, it's not time to go. It is time to take a bath.
Aww.
No, that's not it either. Time to fly! No, not time to fly. Time to hear what my pet rabbit thought about the book. Hey, Kiwi! What did you think about this book? Barnabee believes in himself. You can be a superhero too, Kiwi. All you have to do is believe in yourself. Me too! And you too! Let's believe in ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had the time of my life, shrinking down to the size of a bee, going on a bee-leaving adventure. I had the best time, and I am so excited for next week. Thank you! See you next time!